A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to start a new topic, continuation of the last part. So whatever I left in the last part, I want to cover here. So as we have done two activities in the last two parts, today we have to start a new topic, that is laws of refraction. So in one of the part, I explained that light travels from rarer to denser medium, and one of the activity and one of the part I explained as denser to rarer medium. So now we will see what is today's class. So whenever a light goes from one medium to another, the frequency of light does not change. So the velocity of light and the wavelength of a light changes. So this point will help you in one of the lesson of 10th standard only. Keep that in the mind. So first law of refraction, where we see in laws of refraction in any textbook. So this will be the first law. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This is similar to what you have learnt in the reflection laws. But the second one is the product of refractive index and the sign of angle of incident at a point in a medium is constant. That is, if you see the sentence, the product of refractive index and sign of angle of incidence at a point in a medium is constant. So we know what is refractive index. It is represented with n. So sine of angle of incidence. So n sin I is equal to constant. So keep this in mind. I will continue in the next part of the slide. So I told in the before slide what is that n sin I is constant. If you but according to refraction we have to consider two transparent media. So already we were discussing all the classes like we take the two respective media as n1 and n2. That we have to imply here. If you have taken two media in contact, that means here N1 is one medium and N2 is another medium, and let the angle of incidence in first medium be I1 and angle of incidence in second medium be I2. But for our convenience, but generally when light travels from first medium to second medium, we don't consider as a incidence. It is named as a refraction. For that reason, what we have to assume is I1 is I and I2 is R. So thus N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. From this equation, I have derived this. N1 sin I is equal to N2 R. N2 sin R. Sorry. So sin, if you sin I by sin R is equal to N2 by N1. If you cross multiply also, N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R, and that is equal to N. And this equation in the later part of the lessons is very much important. In the higher classes also, this equation is very much important. So remember again, N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R, that is sin I by sin R is equal to N2 by N1, that equal to N. So what is this N here? N is nothing but here again a refractive index, it is a constant. So now coming to the law, the ratio of sine of angle and angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for the given pair of media. Whatever the transparent media you consider, let it be from A to water or A to glass or water to air or water to glass. So this relationship was discovered by Snell in 1621. So in his honor, this is named as Snell's law of refraction. So what is the Snell's law of refraction here? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for the given pair of media. So this is named as Snell's law of refraction. So here the refractive index is the ratio of two similar quantities. Already we have discussed there. So sine of here similar quantities means sine of angles. So that is sine A by sine A. And that is the reason where we don't have any unit. The refractive index of a medium gives an indication of a light bending ability of that medium. So there I have told whatever I told, but actual reason is here. The last parts whatever I explained. The refractive index of a medium gives an indication of a light bending ability of that medium. For example, the refractive index of a glass is greater than the refractive index of water. You know the glass is how much and water is also how much. Already we have discussed in the last parts of our lessons. Therefore, the light bends more on passing from air to glass than from air into water. So keep these all this like key points what you have to remember, ma. So here, one of the example we'll discuss using that Snell's law of refraction. The angle of incidence I for a ray of light in air is 37 degrees and the angle of refraction R in the glass be 24. So then what is the refractive index? Given sine 37 is 0.60, sine 24 is 0.40. Already you have seen in the tables I calculated and kept. Actually we can do from a books or you can type directly, get the values in your 10th standard maths and one of the chapters. You're going to use this trigonometrical ratios and about trigonometry and all you are going to learn. Okay. So what is the solution is, we know the refractive index of Snell's law equation is n is equal to sin A by sin R. Here sin I is your 37 degrees, R is your 24 degrees. So you have to take the values as 0.60 by 0.40. That gives you 1.5. So this is the refractive index of a glass, that is equal to 1.5. Already I told two activities in different ways we have done. So where I have shown you how I calculated. So almost it is equal to 1 point. There I had told you 1.52 and somewhere I got 1.53. So similarly in this experiment also we have seen the example is 1.5 only, and I told that wherever the glass material varies, that may vary. Okay. So what is the topic here? Total internal reflection here. So already in the activity I have shown, but here diagrammatically also I want to show few slides. See in detail. So here the medium is water medium and here the medium is air. So we have discussed glass and air medium. So here this let the refractive index of water be N1 and the refractive index of air is N2. But here I'm not writing any values for refractive index of air or water. Just see. So this is your normal. So you know whatever the pair of media if you take, it is incidenting normally means angle of I is 0, angle of R is equal to also will be 0. Already we have learnt in the one of the classes. So this is your incident ray. So it is making theta 1. Here instead of giving some values, you have assumed angle as theta 1. So if it is, you have to remember here, this is water is denser than air. So when a light ray, this incident ray enters into this rarer medium, what happens generally? Generally is that away from the normal. That's the reason you see this is theta 1 and this is theta 2. That means here theta 2 is greater than theta 1. So angle R is greater than angle I. Okay, this is one thing. So now if I increase this theta 1, this theta c greater than theta 1, say angle of incidence is increased. What I have found? So the light grazes at the interface separating these two transparent media. So this is grazes at the interface. This condition is called a critical angle. Okay. So if you observe, so that's why it is represented with theta c. But in your textbook we represent with c. This in the higher classes you may use this theta c. Okay. Next, this theta 1. This is again angle of instance. Is if you find this angle and this angle, still more they have increased. That means angle of instance still it increased. So as you know that as angle of incidence increases, angle of refraction also increases. So at one stage what happened, actually it is at grazes at the interface in this case. So in this case it will come into this medium. So into this medium this is your refracted ray, but generally we don't call it as a refracted ray, it is called a total internal reflection now. So this is for air water interface, how the total internal reflection takes place. So what we have learned in our activity, we have learned that whenever a light enters from denser medium to rarer medium, what happens? At certain angle of incidence, the refracted ray does not come out but grazes at the interface, separating air and glass. So that situation is named as critical angle. So that keeping in the mind, so here the condition is this is your green ray represent angle of incidence and this is angle of refraction. Whenever a light ray travels from denser to rarer, we see R will be greater than I. So still if you increase angle of incidence, this is your angle of this is your angle of incidence, it is represented with C. So still more, if you increase, it grazes at the interface. So this is the diagrammatical representation of a critical angle, and that too air glass interface ma. So we have done only the activity here. I am explaining in detail. Already for few children, I message that I am going to explain in detail. In one of the girls' notes, I have found this diagram also. So that girl is very good ma. So now, okay, next, still if you increase, this is your angle of refraction, and at a critical angle, we know that angle of refraction will be 90 degrees. That also you have to keep in the mind now. If you increase the angle of incidence more than the critical angle at a particular stage, we see that instead of going into other medium, it reflects in the same medium. This particular condition of air glass interface is known as total internal reflection. Okay. So now one more things we have to know about in detail for critical angle. What is that? If you consider a light ray travels from a medium 1 with refractive index N1 to medium 2 with refractive index N2. Don't remember the Snell's law actually. This is the application we are doing here. It is already found that angle of refraction is more than the angle of incidence now. When a light ray travels from denser medium, here denser medium you have to take as N1, and to a rarer medium you take as N2. So keep these all points in the mind, children. So from the angle of incidence I and R be the angle of refraction. From the Snell's law, now we know Snell's law is N1 sin A is equal to N2 sin R. Okay. Now we have to imply for this condition now. So N1 by N2 is equal to sin R by sin A. So since we know that N1 by N2 is greater than 1, so sin R by sin A is also greater than 1. So we can conclude the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence. That means I is less than R is greater than I. Okay. So already I told you to represent the critical angle with C. So C be the critical angle, then R, let C be the critical angle and R becomes 90. Already we know that case. So which the light ray I told in air water medium also and air glass medium also, it grazes at the interface. So and we get N1 by N2 is equal to sin 90 by sin C. So what is 90 here? 90 is an indication for refraction. C is indication for I. So from that N1 by N2 is equal to 1 by sin C. So I want only sin C. So I reciprocate this equation. So we get sin C is equal to N2 by N1. So we know that N1 by N2, that is N12. Already these all we have learned in the last videos of all of the classes. So that is N12 is the refractive index of a denser medium with respect to rarer medium here. So here, this all you have to remember, children. Once again, you just recollect once again whatever we learned. Therefore, sin C is equal to 1 by N12. And this equation we have to do numericals. So you have to remember this ma, sin C is equal to 1 by n. Here sin C is nothing but critical angle, that is equal to 1 by n. So here I will give a numerical in the assignment. Sin C is equal to 1 by n or n is equal to 1 by sin C. Remember this. In today's class, we have learned the laws of refraction. We have learned in detail what is total internal reflection and critical angle. This is all we have learned. Thank you, children. Have a good day.